Hi everyone, it's Kel. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to pop on and talk about some practices, or at least one, that some of these ancient uh, sects practice. And I know of a few of them. Of course, there are thousands of religions in the world, and I know because I bought the book on world religions many, many years ago, and there are literally thousands. I can't even remember how many. It was staggering. The book is huge. And somewhere in here, I don't know where. But there is a practice that a couple of sects in India use, and they are goddess worshiping sects. And one of the practices, they don't shower and they roll themselves around in cow dung. And uh, and because of this, they sort of incubate their resources on the inside, like something happens to them, something rejuvenates them. And there's another sect that does that too. I can't remember the names of these or what the full practice is, but I will tell you, a couple weeks ago, I was really not feeling well, really out of sorts and just not feeling well. So I decided right out of the blue to practice, because I don't take medicine ever or do any kind of allopathic drugs. So I decided to do what these sects do, not roll in cow dung, but I decided to not bathe or wash for a few days. And so I ate very minimally, and I literally just sat for 3 days in all. Oh, at least 3 days in all, which is unusual for me because I like to have at least two baths a day. Um, One to clean and one to just absorb in. I usually have one in the morning and one at night. So this was the first time in I don't know how many years ever that I did this. And I've got to tell you, there is something to it because at first I thought, oh, I'm never going to make it through the day. But on day 3, I started really feeling different. I started feeling stronger and more resilient. And apparently, this builds the feminine force within you. And it must, of course, strengthen the yang too, but the feminine force, the yin, um, within the core is strengthened. Uh, but overall, I felt quite good. After day 3, I felt really strong, and I didn't really have like a cough or any other kind of symptoms. I just felt sort of really not right, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. And I thought, I'm going to try this practice because I'm feeling impelled to, and I just sat. And I didn't necessarily sit in meditative pose. I sat here, I sat there. I didn't have anything on. So it's not like I was listening to podcasts or watching TV. I sort of incubated the entire time. I just sat and incubated for 3 days, and wow, I started really feeling strong. And of course, if you do go into meditation, which I did not during these 3 days, But when you go into meditation and you have a regular practice, of course, that is, and I'm sure all of you know this, super strengthening, very calming, centering, and it does build power. However, this other thing that I did, which was sort of sit and not wash my hands. I didn't wash my hands, or I did nothing, no cleansing. And I did brush my teeth. But the no cleansing of the body and the overall feeling when I came out, I actually felt right. And I know that sounds really strange, and especially me, because, formerly being a mother, I am a little OCD. So that was very interesting, noting the changes and sort of contemplating uh, these obscure sects that aren't really known about or really recognized too much. But there is something going on there. So that's interesting to note. And it's not just the meditation, it's actually sitting in your own stuff kind of thing to build your own force. Um, it was kind of like a protective, it felt protective, which is really bizarre. So I just wanted to come on and share that with you because I thought that was interesting. And well, what's really interesting is that, earlier in my life, all these things that I thought were crazy, I'm now finding that there is a lot of good to them, so trying things out can be very beneficial, because we always want to align in every way we can in order to create wholeness and in mind and body, right? We want to make sure that the mind and body are fully connected and fully integrated. And when that happens, the mind trusts without having to know. When the mind doesn't trust without having to know, there becomes this whole mental thing, and we get locked up here. But when we have really clear and really tight mind-body communication, the mind can let go and trust, because it knows without knowing. It knows without linear knowledge because of the connection between the body-mind. And this is what we are working towards while we're here, learning to trust, learning to understand emotions and the invisible languages behind them, learning when we're aligned and when we're not aligned, what is right for us, what isn't right for us. And again, building that mind body connection. And it was during my sort of incubation days where I was just sort of sitting in my stuff that I did feel a stronger connection, which was kind of odd because I wasn't meditating. I really wanted to just sit in my stuff and sort of see what would happen. And it was actually when I went to have a bath, or actually have a shower, I was kind of a little, didn't really want to go there and do that, but did it because I had to get on with the rest of my life, and I felt better. So it did achieve what I was looking for. But I just wanted to come on and share that with you because it's really interesting to try some of these practices. Formerly, I used to think that these practices were ridiculous, and a lot of them were just the preamble to actual proper hygiene. But now I'm actually finding that there is deeper spiritual nuances that can be reached through some of these obscure practices. So I encourage you to try them. And of course, I encourage you to do anything that builds the bond between the body mind, builds the connection, builds the trust, builds the faith, the inner faith. And the stronger this gets, the happier you get. Because life becomes mysterious. It's not all about just what you see. It becomes about who you really are on deeper levels. And the mysteries of the world become so alluring and so interesting. And you become more enraptured with just life and so less drawn to the facade that we see everywhere that's actually really becoming old, and you can lose yourself in it. So, again, just wanted to pop on, say hi, and share this, share my experience of this, the practice of, what would you call it? The practice of non-cleaning, the practice um, of not non-bathing to become centered, I would say, or to become, I wouldn't say I became more sort of centered, really. I became more, there was a strength there. I felt stronger, I felt protected, and there was, yeah, an inner strength that was building in there. And I'm not saying don't shower and don't bathe, but I am saying, you know, there are situations, listen to your core, listen to what's going on inside of you and follow those prompts. And if it's telling you to do that one day when you're not feeling well, or maybe for another reason, then absolutely go for it, because we need to follow the inner prompts. All the prompts are coming from within. All the right prompts are coming from within. And when we are feeling impelled to sort of crazily do things to meet any kind of outward world, or what we think is being demanded of us, things start to go wrong. It has to come from within. It has to come from within side of you. And you know when it's for you. You know it. It's just a feeling of, yeah. And the more you get this body-mind connection going, the stronger you get with those inner prompts. And, of late, I've really been stepping away from any kind of media, and as you know, and I've got to tell you, it's really good. The world becomes so fantastic when there's no media going on, and I don't want to see, all these fabulous movie stars or soccer players and their fancy wives, or all the things people are buying, or what they're driving, or what they own. I don't care. Life becomes so good for me when I turn it all off and I just start right where I am. I go, wow, this is really nice, this pillow. Wow, I really like this thing I got from so-and-so, 2 years ago, and I still have it. And I think today I'm going to go over and chat to the neighbor. Life becomes really, really good when you're living from the inward realm, and the more you feed it, the more it grows. And the more you feed this outside thing, the more erratic and frantic you become, because you are never going to meet it if it's not coming from the inside, because it's false. The mind is running after the wrong stuff. So, having said that, I'm sure you all know this, but it's good to hear it again. I just wanted to really say hello, let you know what's going on, the stepping away from media. Wow, loving it more and more. Out riding the bike, petting dogs, kissing babies, and it's good. Um, and that's it. So I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I look forward to hearing from you. And we will talk soon. Bye for now.